Hi, this is Imran Abbas.
Hi, this is Pernia Qureshi.
I'm Muzaffar Ali. You're watching me on
Bollywood Hungama.
Bollywood Hungama.
Bollywood Hungama. I think there's a lot of in-depth reaction. People who are understanding the ethos of the film, they are responding very positively. And now we are just hoping that the chemistry of the film and the audience expectations are going to somewhere coincide.
I think from my friends, everybody who's been watching it has been telling me that the story looks great. It looks like it's a really interesting story, which is very exciting because I think everybody wants to watch a good story, you know. And I think they love the look of the film, the way it's looking. It's looking grand, it's looking so beautiful. That's the kind of reaction that I've been getting, so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, and even in Pakistan, I think people still in Pakistan want to listen to good music. They want to listen to poetry, they want to listen to they want to see the beautiful dances, especially the arts, which is like extremely lacking in films in Pakistan and India now. Typical artistic, you know, that framing and those kind of films which are now very rare to see. So people are looking forward to this film badly in Pakistan.
I don't make films. I live films. So I make a film on what I'm experiencing, what I'm feeling. So sometimes there are lots of films that are inside me. Some have reached the screenplay stage and some have seen the light of the day. So film for me is a very personal, a very sacred medium. And I treat it like that. And I think I don't have to account for what I'm doing. I have a conscience and I'm trying to be as true and honest to that conscience of what I'd like to share with the world. I think this film addresses that conscience. And it's some pages of history which I think the world and especially our own country, the subcontinent, should know about. I think the inspiration is very humane and grassroots. I mean, one thing I cannot stand is subjugation of man by man. And wherever that happens, an inspirational situation arises. And here it's very loud and clear as to what happened to us, what happened to our history, and what resulted in the division of the country. So these are questions that I think this nation should ask, and that's what I think to some extent this film should do.
Working with Muzaffar Saab was truly an honor for me. Like, I'm an art student. I've been reading poetry, I've been learning Eastern classical music and stuff. So I know like Diwan-e-Ghalib is only a small diwan, a small book, which rules the whole Urdu literature. Umrao Jaan is exactly the same. Umrao Jaan is just one film which has never been made after that. You know, the kind of film which Umrao Jaan was, I think it's never been repeated again in the Bollywood. So working with a person who has created Umrao Jaan was like a dream come true. And it is exactly like Diwan-e-Ghalib in Urdu poetry. So for me it was like a very exciting factor, and when I was offered for this role, I couldn't even like think twice about it, whether should I say no or yes. Initially I was very excited, and by the time it was finished, I think I was more excited.
I think for me, the only thing I needed was to have Muzaffar sir ask me that will you act. He didn't have to even finish the sentence, and I was like, yes, I would love it. I think just the fact that somebody of his caliber, an artist of his position, is believing in me, who is just a nobody, young dancer, young artist, is believing in me and showing some faith in me and wanting to work with me, that was a huge compliment and a huge boost of confidence that I got to want to act and to want to do this project. So for me, he was reason enough. I didn't have to even go beyond him to want to do this film. And then of course, after him, when I realized that I'm in this project, and then I got to see everything else, the script and my character, and it was all just getting better and better. You know, it was just yeah. And then my co-star also. Yeah, my co-star was a cherry on top. But yeah.
Definitely when we think of a director who has already worked with Samita Patel and Shabana Azmi and Farooq Sheikh and Rekha, so you feel yourself in safe hands. You know, you think that it cannot go wrong career-wise for an actor to work with a director of his caliber.
It's a very passionate journey, which I think today, in this day and age, people don't go through. Like even for Umrao Jaan, the poetry and the music, it took me at least 2 years to go through that journey. And I just lived that journey. It was not a big kind of a ये नहीं कि हम लाइन लगाए बैठे हैं कि साहब हमारी भी म्यूज़िक कर दीजिए या हमारे लिए लिख दीजिए. I mean, we lived it. Shahryar stayed in my house. Khayyam Saab lives opposite my house here. So we used to spend evenings together and arrive at cinematic and music and lyrics. You know, so it was and it became part of the screenplay. You know, so that's a different journey. You know, even working with my actors, it was a dream. You know, because I think we just lived each moment of the film. They were not actors; they were people of that time and that era. And they were living those nuances which I was trying to recollect and recreate on celluloid. So same thing happens here also. These people, they lived the role, they lived the film, they lived in that whole village, and they don't know that ये खाना stage का है या set का है या घर का है या क्या है. And it was all part of one experience, you know. So I think it was, you have to live it through. You have to, you know, I think, inspire people and be inspired by people.
Umrao Jaan has inspired every girl in some way or the other. It's a cult film, and girls of my generation who weren't even born, we weren't born when the film was made, we still love it and we're still inspired by it. It's still relevant. So a film like that is a classic, and I think every actress has watched Umrao Jaan and is inspired by that film, because you watch a film like Umrao Jaan and you believe in films and you want to do films like that, and it inspires you to want to be in the industry. Good films inspire you, and Umrao Jaan is on the top of the list of the good films that make people want to do films and make people want to act. And I think it would be so nice if there were more films like that, of that caliber, made in this day and age also, who would inspire girls 30 years from now, you know. I hope this film, I know this film which we have made is a film like that, you know, because obviously Muzaffar sir has made it, so it has to
they
be
have put their soul
amazing
into it, and it's a more complex film than Umrao Jaan. It's a more thinking film, you know what I mean. And these characters are a little more, I would say, they've got a bigger task ahead in the film. You know, they are going into the zone of laying their lives for the country, you know what I mean. So, they're driven by a higher purpose. Umrao Jaan had a more emotional, internal this thing. This goes a little outside, you know, and it tries to take everybody with them on this journey of independence, you know. So that's if the chemistry works, it's going to be big, you know.
I started my career with Umrao Jaan. I played Nawab Sultan in Pakistan. That was my first project in Pakistan. So, although I was not supposed to watch Umrao Jaan when I was doing it, because I was asked by my director not to watch Farooq Sheikh's character, because you'll start doing the same kind of acting. But छुप के कहीं देख तो लिया था वो, और किसने नहीं देखा था. But yes, I have been doing all throughout my career the roles which are very emotional, romantic. But this was for the first time I was doing something which is I think that was a true portrayal of this शेर that और भी दुख हैं ज़माने में मोहब्बत के सिवा, राहतें और भी हैं वसील की राहत के सिवा. तो यहाँ आके हमें पता चलता है कि there is something in life which is more important than love, and of course it is love, but this person to person love is something very secondary. It becomes very secondary. This person to person love becomes very secondary when you start thinking about someone which is prior, which is bigger, and that is your country. And yes, it is again you bear lots of more responsibility when you are ruling a country, or you are someone who is in command. So he was not just another person. He was a Raja. He was a prince of that area, of that region, of that country. So he had some prior objects in his life, and definitely that was something much more sacred and important than his romantic interest with this girl.
See, I think what I maintain is that a film has to have very strong rootedness. It has to have very strong inspirational sources. You know, without strong inspirational sources, it's very difficult to make a film which is of any relevance. See, filling up a hall is one thing, but filling up a heart is another thing. You know what I mean? So if you have to fill up hearts, you have to fill it with some very important content. You know what I mean? So today, content is somewhere getting eroded. It's being discovered at a very interesting level when the films are cheaper to make. Films like Killa or things like that, you know, where you can, the ज़्यादा team time नहीं है ना, so you can keep that emotional thread alive. But the moment you go into large productions, big actors, big this thing, you lose thread of content. Your technology overtakes you, your paraphernalia overtakes you, and somewhere you lose that very fine emotional thread. You also lose a lot of production value details, because today what is happening is that in India there's not that kind of a elaborate institutional training of how to design a film, you know what I mean. People do it very sporadically, you know. But in the West you'll find there's a stronger discipline of designing films, and cinematography and production design and screenplay are all arising out of one quest to create that kind of excellence. Yahan par to there's a little confusion there, which will get sorted out once we go global. And I think today the challenge for Indian films is to go global, because the moment you go global, your content becomes different, your rootedness becomes stronger, everything gets more interestingly positioned, you know. So I think the content is getting a little weakened and the form is getting stronger. So that's the thing I feel.
Raja Amir Haider was definitely not an easy character to portray, because it has multi-layers. It's not a boy from 2015. We have to go back to 1877. It's not relatable, of course, because it's not from the same period, same time. But yeah, it was. I had to learn a lot. I had to learn so many things which I seriously haven't done before. Writing. I had to be very good Urdu speaker. I had to be very fluent in this English typical British accent, which I was told by Pernia, thank you so much, and Muzaffar Saab all the time. हमारी तो पाकिस्तान इंडिया में there is the accent we speak in is totally different. It's something which is not even understandable to many people. So yes.
But your cerebral journey, realization. I think that
of
you
course,
brought
that is something
brought out very
which,
well. I think you can't even explain what you've done.
Oh, seriously, thank you, sir. Haslo.
No.
She is not all my. She is not
jokes. I can't even laugh at my director's jokes. Come on.
No, seriously, but when I started
he gets
working,
insecure.
when I started working for this Jaanisaar,
Jaanisaar.
Jaanisaar, that's glory. So by the time I was wrapping up, I was totally a different person. Glory. That was glory, basically. That pan ki glory. But he couldn't understand that glory, so he used to say glory. So काफी चीजें ऐसी थी. But yes, I was trained for my writing skills, for my
lack of writing
skills.
No, but in Gaman, Farooq Sheikh didn't know how to drive.
Oh.
So he was holding the wheel. I was doing the rest. नीचे से.
अब आप कुछ भी कह लें सर उनके लिए. अब तो
नहीं, आपका घोड़ा तो असली था ना.
In my limited knowledge and opinion, what I felt with Imran which was so wonderful, was that his character was very vulnerable. Was a very vulnerable boy, and I think it's very hard. No, but it's very hard to show vulnerability. No, it's very hard to show vulnerability in a beautiful way, and still be appealing, and just show it in a way that you really touch the other person. And I think that he did that so well. I think half the battle is won with his face, because it's got a very sweet face. But really, I just thought, working with him, I thought that was so nice. The way he was able to play this, being a man, showing vulnerability is very difficult, and I think he did such a good job with that. For me, playing Noor was also obviously had its challenges, because I'm a modern girl of 2015, like he said. I'm playing a girl in a different era. But my training, because I'm a newcomer and I don't know anything else and any better, which was kind of good that my training only happened with this girl and this character with Muzaffar sir. So it's not like I knew anything else or I was coming from anywhere else. I just completely transformed myself into this girl with Muzaffar sir's guidance, and which was the best, because he is the kind of person who will train you and you don't even know you're being trained. He'll call you, have a conversation with you. The next thing you know, you've changed after a few days, but you don't even realize when it happened.
But you know, the best thing was about Pernia is that she has this. I mean, my vehicle was dance. You know, how you express that culture, that finesse through dance, and also a kind of a resentment through dance, also a sense of revolution through dance. Now that is what she carried on beautifully. I mean, she brought dance to another level. I don't think anybody in Bollywood could do that. I mean, she could give the whole song in one take, you know. So I could indulge in any kind of lensing, any kind of movement with just that one take, and I'll get the right cuts, absolute, you know, matches. So she was a joy to work with as a dancer. And then she brought a lot of intensity to that character, which I think is very commendable.
I would love to do anything which is intelligent, which is creative. I want to work with good team. It's not only the good director. I want to work with everyone who is the best in the team. The writer, even the cinematographer should be very good, because you know it's all about present.
It's all about the way you look.
It's all about the way you look too. But yes, I just want to be a part of anything which is intelligent, which is creative, which is made by good, best group of people.
What about foolish films?
Never. So I've seen lots of films lately. Which
comedy की बात क्यों करते हैं आप मेरे साथ?
I'm 100% sure कि आप जब comedy बनाएंगे तो that won't be a foolish project, by all means. लेकिन yes, lately I've seen many films which were box office blockbusters, but they were not even like worth watching for even one time. So yes, I would want to be a part of any project which will be remembered later, which will be remembered and seen repeatedly, like Jaanisaar, of course.
I agree with Imran on many levels as to like to the fact that I would love to work with a team that's great, because I think I'm so spoiled with my debut film with Muzaffar sir and the best team ever. And now it's like, after this, where am I going to go? You know, where am I going to find this caliber of work, you know, and scope to do what I love doing? And I would obviously love to work with a good team and with people who are as passionate as Muzaffar sir, which are so rare to find, and people who believe in making really good films. I need to be inspired. If somebody can convince me that what they're doing is great, or this is a really amazing story or a film, I have to feel inspired, excited, motivated, and then I will give 1000%, you know. So anybody who can do that for me, make me feel that way, I would like to do a film like that. Irrespective of the genre, every genre would be nice, but we are too spoiled now. For my first film, I'm too spoiled. After him, it's going to be very hard, you know, to
अब आप लोगों के दिलों में रहिए
yeah.
क्योंकि ये दिल चीज़ क्या है आप मेरी जान लीजिए.
Hi, this is Faridun Shahryar. For the most interesting celebrity interviews, do subscribe to Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.